They told her to stay quiet. They warned her not to question authority. They said, if you want to keep your job, don't tell the truth. But she did anyway, and in one single moment of courage, everything was taken from her: her job, her security, her reputation. What they didn't realize was this: they didn't silence her. They didn't break her. They didn't end her story. They pushed her into becoming something far more dangerous to the system that rejected her. A woman who no longer needed permission. She never planned to be a rebel. She never dreamed of being a symbol. All she wanted was to do her job with honesty, dignity, and self-respect. For years, she showed up early, stayed late, and gave more than was ever asked of her. She believed in loyalty. She believed in fairness. She believed that hard work would protect her. Like so many women, she was taught that if you kept your head down and your heart sincere, the world would eventually meet you halfway. But the world doesn't always reward integrity. Sometimes it punishes it. She started noticing things others ignored. Numbers that didn't add up. Decisions that hurt employees but protected executives. Policies that quietly favored power over people. At first, she questioned herself. Maybe she was overthinking. Maybe this was just how things worked. But deep down, she knew the truth. And the truth has a way of becoming louder the longer you try to silence it. Each day, the weight grew heavier. Every meeting felt like a test of her conscience. Smile and comply, or speak up and risk everything. She watched colleagues choose comfort over courage. She understood why. Fear is persuasive. Security is seductive. But something inside her refused to go numb. The day she spoke up, her voice didn't shake. Her hands didn't tremble. She wasn't angry. She was clear. She presented facts. She asked fair questions. She demanded accountability, not for herself, but for those without a voice. The room went quiet. Eyes avoided hers. That was the moment she realized something important. Truth makes people uncomfortable when it threatens their power. They didn't argue her points. They didn't investigate the issue. They attacked her. Suddenly, she was difficult. Suddenly, she was not a team player. Suddenly, her years of dedication meant nothing. Within weeks, she was called into a room she had entered 1,000 times before. But this time, she walked out without a job. No warning, no protection, no apology. Just a cardboard box and a signature on a paper that reduced her courage to a liability. The drive home felt endless. The silence in the car was louder than any insult they could have thrown at her. Questions stormed her mind. How would she pay the bills? What would she tell her family? Had she destroyed her future by telling the truth? That night, she didn't sleep. Not because she regretted speaking up, but because she finally understood something painful and freeing at the same time. The system she trusted was never built to protect her. The following weeks were brutal. Rejection emails arrived faster than hope. Interviews ended with polite smiles and vague promises that never materialized. Some employers saw her courage as a threat. Others quietly admired it, but didn't want it inside their organization. Money became tight. Confidence became fragile. There were moments when doubt whispered, "You should have stayed quiet." But here's what no one tells you about brave women. Even when they doubt themselves, they don't surrender their values. She started asking different questions, not "who will hire me," but "what can I build?" At first, the idea felt impossible. She had always worked for someone. She didn't come from wealth. She didn't have powerful connections. She didn't even fully believe in herself yet. But she had something far more valuable: experience, integrity, and a voice that refused to disappear. She began freelancing quietly, consulting, helping small businesses avoid the same ethical mistakes she had witnessed. She worked from her kitchen table, late into the night, fueled by fear and faith in equal measure. Every client she helped confirmed what she was slowly realizing. Her truth was not her weakness. It was her edge. She learned skills no one had ever taught her: negotiation, branding, self-trust. She failed more times than she can count. She undercharged. She overworked. She cried alone. But she kept going, because this time, no one could fire her for being honest. Months passed, then years. What started as survival turned into strategy. What began as fear turned into freedom. She hired her first employee, then her second. She built a company rooted in transparency, fairness, and respect. She created the kind of workplace she once desperately needed. The irony wasn't lost on her. The same truth that cost her a job built her a business. One day, she received a message from a former colleague, the kind who had stayed silent when she spoke up. The message was short, but heavy with meaning. "I wish I'd had your courage." She read it slowly, not with pride, not with bitterness, but with understanding. Courage looks expensive until you realize the cost of silence is higher. Today, she doesn't ask for permission. She doesn't beg for approval. She doesn't shrink to fit broken systems. She stands taller, not because life got easier, but because she got stronger. Her story isn't about revenge. It's about release. Release from fear. Release from dependence. Release from the lie that women must endure injustice to survive. She was fired for speaking the truth, and in doing so, she hired herself into a life of purpose. If you're listening to this and standing at the edge of a difficult choice, know this. Silence may feel safe today, but courage builds tomorrow, and sometimes losing a job is the universe making room for you to finally become who you were always meant to be.